Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 372.
372.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. The holidays are coming starting November 6th, which is, 10 days or so away. And then the Taste of the Epcot International Festival of the Arts was announced. That is coming on January 8th and running through February 22nd.
Earlier than ever next year.
Really early, and with many returning activities. Check out the MEI and Mouse Fan Travel website for the 2021 packages, as well as discounted rooms that are still available for this year.
And this week, we're going to start off at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort.
And I found a last-minute deal for the resort through renting DVC points, and it really was last minute. It was like within 24 hours of saying we'd like to stay there, we were there the next day.
That's right. We didn't know we were going until Sunday, and we had to check in on Monday. So that was unbelievably last minute.
Disney's Polynesian Village Resort is officially not open. It is opening next summer, but just like all of the other DVC resorts, those sections of the resort are open.
Mm-hmm.
As well as a great ceremonial house. A lot of that is open, not everything, like Ohana's not open. But it was really nice. We got a great deal. We were able to stay on property a few nights. And, Disney's Polynesian Resort is where my family, that's where I grew up.
Same here.
And I first stayed there in 1977.
It was probably the mid-'70s for us. I know the first few years we went down, 71, 2, 3, we stayed at the Yogi Bear's Jellystone Campground, which is probably around where the Crossroads area is right now.
And my family, actually in 77, first we were supposed to stay at the Dutch Inn. We got there, and my mom saw what you would call a palmetto bug and did not like that. And so somehow they were able to find, a week at the Polynesian, even though at that time you really had to book a year ahead. It wasn't something that you could just book, like a week ahead or a day ahead. It was something you really needed to do because there weren't very many resorts at that time.
So here we are. We're going into our room. We've seen these types of rooms before, but we had not stayed in them. So it was very exciting to actually stay in one of these studio rooms.
Right. This is a studio villa, and I think they're all studio villas, not any 1 or 2 bedrooms. We've visited Axel in his room. That's how we ended up seeing it before, but we haven't stayed here. This would have been modified from one of the standard rooms. About a quarter of it is probably bathroom. Like there's a really, there's like 2.
It's like a cruise ship where there's 2 sections of it.
Right, but even just the one section is huge. So here is Maui.
Oh,
and the
yes.
lamp.
I fell in love with this Maui lamp. I actually tried to buy one. They were all sold out, but I guess they come in and out. So next time they are in stock, I plan to have one here at the house. And we've seen this last time we stayed at we were at the boardwalk when the resorts first opened, the enhanced cleaning. So you could see all the various things they do to make everything safer and cleaner.
Right. And it's the same list as when we stayed at the boardwalk. And then also the remote control is in the
It's wrapped.
Yes.
But we actually took it out of the wrapping. I think we left it in the wrapping the whole time at the boardwalk because we didn't know what to do with it.
I had no idea. And, it was still early on. I mean, that was months ago now. So this is a look at the room. Again, this would be like a modified room from the original. These are big rooms. Disney's Polynesian Village Resort has some of the biggest rooms on property because it is, it opened in 1971 and when I guess rooms were bigger.
So we're going to look, we actually just saw some of the art, and here is a little bit more of the art in the DVC rooms. This is the Chinese junk, that's what they call it. This was actually a boat in the early 70s that sailed the Seven Seas Lagoon at Walt Disney World for a number of years.
And I don't think I ever saw
I showed you
it.
pictures, so we know you now know what the real one looked like.
Yeah, but it's hard to believe it was ever out there. But, again, I didn't get there till 1977, so I didn't see everything. But I can't even imagine it, out on the Seven Seas Lagoon.
So speaking of out, we spent most of our time actually out on the little balcony or patio. I don't know what you want to call it. But this was a place that we really enjoyed. We had a lot of meals out here, and at night I would just kind of watch the torches and the construction in the distance, or the taking away of the A-frame.
Well, I would call it the patio because it's not a,
it's not really a balcony.
Higher.
Right.
It's not higher.
Like that would be a balcony above us there.
But yeah, I mean, we didn't spend all our time here, but it was really nice to be able to we got food from Kona Cafe because they have Kona to go, and we're gonna show that, and then a little bit of food. Not so much from Captain Cook's. It was nice, like Kona breakfast. For just to go get pancakes and Tonga Toast was really awesome.
And this was the little pull down bed, really for younger guests probably.
But I think like you or I could probably be on it. It's a lot bigger than the old trundle beds once were. Not as maybe similar size to daybed.
I love the art with Lilo and Stitch having a little nap there. It kind of made me want to have a nap too.
Well, it's interesting though that the other rooms, the standard rooms, are going to be refurbished into Moana. I wonder if that eventually will happen here also, since this is Lilo and Stitch.
Right, or I hope it doesn't. It'll be nice when you have Moana rooms and then you still have
Lilo
the
and
throwback to
Stitch.
Lilo and Stitch.
And it's not like they're not Lilo and Stitch rooms. I mean, that's the only Lilo and Stitch in the whole
Correct.
room.
Right.
And of course, with the DVC villas, the studios, you get a little refrigerator.
It doesn't come stock with Kona like ours did. That was
No.
our own doing.
And actually, all rooms come with a small refrigerator, but you also get the microwave and, what they used to call a wet bar, but they call it something else now. But
Yeah, I don't know the official name. We're looking at
Kitchenette.
those bathrooms you had mentioned before. Now this is the one that has the main. I would call this the main shower, but there's no toilet. But it does have a full shower and a sink and everything, so you can have your shower and get ready in this area.
Right, and then somebody else can be in the other restroom, and each section had their own H2O products, which was really
that was
nice.
We had double the H2O goodness. Here is the toilet, and the other shower, standard shower, didn't have the what do you call it when the water comes right
It's
down
like
on your head?
the rain shower.
Range. I love the rain shower. That's kind of nice.
It didn't have very much
You're used
pressure.
to the power of the
I
shower
like-
in our house.
Yes, I like water pressure, and there wasn't much, so it was fine. And I like the H2O products. We actually buy them, so it's always exciting to have them in the room.
And we never did use the shower in here, but it did come in handy to have the extra sinks and all of that.
And so they actually have a really nice selection of shampoo, body lotion, conditioner, and then the sea salt shower wash. And I think that each of them had about the same. I don't know if they both had lotion.
And you can buy a lot of that stuff through their website, the H2O website, or the resort gift shops.
And while we're looking at like artwork and such, the H2O website they don't call them the same anymore, but they still have a lot of the same products, but they have different names now.
So that is a look at our room. We are off to the Magic Kingdom for the evening. We had a bit of rain. Once we checked in, it was a heavy rainstorm, so we had a little snack, and now we are off. And the pool was still closed, so we're looking over the fence there because there was lightning in the area.
And I am hoping that this will open soon.
The walkway.
Yes, the walkway between Disney's Grand Floridian and the Magic Kingdom. I know there's so much interest in it. They're still working on it down on this end, but they're really working hard. And I'm hoping on November 2nd, when that Polynesian Resort monorail platform closes, that this will open. But
Unless
we'll
they
see.
extend, you never know. They could always, if they're not
You
ready,
never
I would
know.
expect them to extend it.
I can see rain in the background. I think it would be so handy for everybody who is staying at the resorts just to be able to walk. It's great for social distancing. I love the walk. I just love walking, especially in the morning.
Well, this was taken 1 week prior to us doing this recording, so I'm sure that it's advanced. But
It
you could
has.
see there, it advanced when we were there,
Yes.
actually. But I mean, you could see they're doing a lot of paving. Here we are at the Magic Kingdom. The rain is starting to stop, and I don't think it really came back for the rest of the time we were there. I mean, we got there at 5 o'clock, so we only had about an hour and then a little time after to look in the shops and things.
It looks really busy on Main Street, but
Everyone is leaving is why.
everybody's leaving. But most people are still distanced a little bit from each other and such. It was really nice to come in. We were not planning to spend more than an hour to hour, and 15 or so here, but because they leave the shops open and the PhotoPass photographers are out, and then you're just kind of waiting for people to leave so you don't go in a big group.
And you could see there's the new sign saying if you are not properly wearing your mask, you'll be asked to leave. Also, it didn't look like there were very long lines during the end of the day here. And we're taking a quick look here at the lunching pad, or whatever you call it, and lunching and some of the offerings there.
And yeah, I think that's what it's always been called ever since I was a kid, I think.
They had handwiches here many moons ago.
I never had a handwich. There were a lot of things I missed, like Tonga Toast I missed for a long time, although now I've been eating it for 20 years.
Yeah, we've made up for your missing it as a kid.
Yes.
And of course, mobile order, very popular there. Mobile order everywhere. We love it.
There isn't mobile order everywhere, but I wish it was. I hope that they will continue with the table service mobile orders as well. It is so handy and so easy to do. And you see people with bags, especially at the resorts. Everybody's carrying their bag of food around.
Well, I find for quick service, most quick service does seem to have it available.
A lot of them do, but like if you go to Epcot, Regal Eagle does, but not a lot else does.
Right.
So I'm hoping that it will continue because that's my preferred way. So again, we stayed way longer than I planned.
We ran into some friends and we were chatting. That's the main reason we were still there.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, we need to go. And then it's like, okay, finally we'll go.
And you can see there's still quite the crowd here, and it's almost fully dark. I know with they've just announced that the parks are going to be opened much later, especially for the Christmas season. But this was the first time that we finally saw the Magic Kingdom in full darkness.
I think that the Emporium was open probably till 7, probably an hour after the park closed. We're just not here enough in the evenings to know that, but I think it's 7, and then PhotoPass was probably still out when we left.
So we went back. We were hoping to order from Kona Cafe, but apparently you have to do that well in advance because it was not taking dinner orders.
It said there were no more available, right. So it's good to do it earlier. And we learned that for breakfast as well. We
did have Captain Cook's, and Captain Cook's was just fine, but we were looking forward to a more substantial dinner. But again, this was fine, and we did discover something that we liked so much, we had it again, and then we'll show you that in a second. That was that yummy dessert.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, Captain Cook's, I ended up with a kids meal because there wasn't anything I really wanted on the menu, and you ended up with
buffalo
some
wings, and they were just okay. Certainly not. And I had the wings from Captain Cook's, not Captain Cook's, Kona, the sticky wings, and they were so much better.
Now the cupcake was really good. This was our favorite thing from Captain Cook's, and that was I think it's got some kind of a rocky road inside.
Yes, it
does.
It's
a Minnie Mouse cupcake. It doesn't look like it would be like a really good cupcake. It looks like it's a good cupcake, but we ended up getting it the next day because we enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, that was absolutely a highlight.
Really good cupcake. So it's fun. Like a lot of times you get something, it's like, okay, well, that's about what I expected, but that was more than I expected.
So at night, I would sit out on the patio, and we would see that the crane would be moving and taking away more and more of the A-frames, and now they're all gone, by the way.
Are they all gone now?
Totally, I've seen a picture where they're completely off. I mean, they're coming back, so not to worry. Now, this is your footage. You like to go for an early morning walk. Now, I did join you on our very last day. We'll show that next week, but you can set this part up.
Well, all 3 mornings I went for a sunrise walk. 2 of the mornings to the Grand. The other morning I think we were picking up food or something.
Well, we had an early Kingdom.
That's it. Why. That's why. So it was just really nice it was very relaxing. I just, like, if I could do this every morning. Like,
I never thought I would be an early morning walk type guy, but seeing your pictures, it looked so peaceful and wonderful. I got myself up at 6:30 and did it, and now I will never not do it. I loved it. It was a highlight of our trip for me.
So relaxing. There was like nobody out. You could see, a very small handful, a few joggers and such. Look at those clouds, were incredible. And it was just beautiful to be able to, we live here. We live a half hour from here, but to have that different perspective and just a change of pace was really nice.
And we did order breakfast from Kona. We were successful in doing that. We did that right away at 6:30 when you got up.
And this was this the first day? It was the Tonga Toast, and we got that with bacon. The next 2 mornings we had something different, though.
And we
that I
will
hadn't
talk
had. Oh
about
my
that.
gosh.
And we had everything set up outside, but all of a sudden they started cutting the grass, so we had to quickly move inside. Now, this Tonga Toast is from Kona Cafe, as opposed to the same Tonga, very similar Tonga that you can get at Captain Cook's.
It seemed a lot more, well, I don't know, substantial than when we've had Captain Cook's lately. It was really good. And we had strawberry compote with it, which comes with it, and we ordered a side of potatoes.
I tell you, that strawberry really makes it, though.
It was really good. So it was a really nice dessert. But as you said, you were like, you had enough sugar.
Yes. Yes.
And especially, I think we had another cupcake that day or whatever. So enough sugar for too much sugar for the morning, probably.
I mean, if you're not really caring about the compote, it's $5 cheaper to get it at Captain Cook's.
But it was nice. It was a nice way to start the day.
And here we're taking a look at the parking lot of the construction. Now remember, all these A-frames, everything is totally down, even the little bar in the middle. Everything is gone. It's just a flat roof currently. But as you can see that we've seen the concept art, it'll be redone. This whole entranceway will be beautiful. You'll just have less A-frames there.
Right. It's going to look very different, but it should be very beautiful. And I think it's going to, just the concept art makes it look like when you're going to one of the DVC buildings, kind of that.
It will match
look.
that,
Yes.
absolutely. So, of course, on our very first full day, we were over at Epcot, and we wanted to check out the Passholder only shop here in Germany.
Right. And this opened a little over a week ago, and I enjoyed it a lot, but I was going to go visit my mom that day, so I didn't really have any time to shop. And I wanted to, so we went in, and you found some stuff for yourself, and then I got a few gifts.
Well, you really hit the jackpot. You found these nice socks here, which I know you tried on last night.
They were, yeah, I mean, these were $10, and then you got, half off, and then you got 30% off, so they ended up being really inexpensive.
And I've already started using this. This is like a bar mat from Rose and Crown, so I think after all the discounts, it was only $10, so to me, that was a really good bargain.
And then also, I ended up getting the Helly Hansen jacket, which had been like $175, and I think we paid like $65. And it's actually, I've already worn it because it's a nice windbreaker jacket, and I don't have that.
Yeah, really nice jacket. I'm so glad that you got that. And we're just looking at the Play Pavilion. Looks like the whole roof there is fully gold.
Right, it looks complete. And it didn't look like too much was going on at the Guardians coaster when we were there, and I've heard that might end up opening in 2022, but we'll see.
Yeah, I've heard both of them might, or Tron also could be possibly delayed.
So we'll see, what happens. I think Ratatouille will probably be next year.
So this was a nice little surprise. We decided we're going to try dinner over at the Coronado Resort, which recently reopened.
Right. Disney's Coronado Springs Resort opened on October 16th. I've been wanting to get back to Three Bridges Bar and Grill. They had been part of the NBA bubble, so that's why they took a while to reopen. And so we went for 4:30 p.m. because that is the time that it would be least busy.
Rope drop,
yes. And it's, it's outdoors. You have a cover, but it's mostly otherwise outdoors. And the food here and the drinks here have always been excellent. And it was the same.
Yeah, I've never had a bad time. We had a great server. We were the very first one seated, so we told them what we were looking for. We wanted something kind of off in the corner, right on the water there, and I was very happy. It was one of the first full service dinings we've had at Walt Disney World.
One of just a few at this point, and we're going to try another one tomorrow outdoors. And so this is Three Bridges Bar and Grill, and again, they have been open, I guess, almost a year or so now. The Grand Estino last year opened in July, but I think it was, it may have been a few months before that. I don't even remember now. So I had a sangria. They're really known here for sangrias. They're really good, and they pack a punch. And they took Tables in Wonderland, which I did not realize they had started taking.
Right, so, that was a pleasant surprise. Once we found that out, we had
drink.
2 drinks. And in my case, that was the Spanish draft beer, Estrella Damm, I guess is the correct pronunciation.
We had to look it up.
Want to make sure we're correct. I've actually had this before. It's really, really good. So to me, every time I go there, I go for this one.
And again, we haven't been there. Well, obviously it hadn't been open in months and months. So The food here, again, is really good, and we're going to be looking at that in just a second. They didn't have the coasters. They said Coronado Springs instead of Three Bridges this time. And we ended up having, I forgot to write the name of this down.
Well, it's really a corn dip and nachos.
Yeah, and the tortilla chips. And this is a really interesting. You really liked it.
I did.
I'm there's something in there that doesn't work as much for me, but I love corn.
And for somebody who may have it not work so good, there was nothing left whatsoever.
I didn't
from
say
those
I didn't
bowls.
eat it. It worked enough. But there's something I'm not sure what it is in there that isn't 100% for me.
No, I had the pork tacos. These were fantastic. I would absolutely get this again. Really great flavor and nice spice too. I mean, it was helpful to have the extra beer to wash all of this down, and the fries were very good as well. Now, you had the ultimate meal, and you'll be telling about that, but this is something that I would absolutely get again.
Yeah, and you've had the steak before. You had it, I think, in a salad.
I have.
And we're still looking at your pork
tacos. I
tacos.
wanted to show there's a good portion too. I mean, absolutely, you could have brought this home.
Right,
a lot of this home.
And I would love, I would bring the food home, and there I am taking pictures.
Well, we did bring quite a bit of this home.
And I think this was $21. I don't have the menu right in front of me. The steak here is really good. It's still really good. Just a very tender and a really nice flavor. The fries are excellent. A lot of the Disney fries are not excellent. But these are.
And garlic bread.
And right, I don't remember if there was a lot of garlic on there, but it's like grilled. This is just a very nice meal, especially for the price. And I want to go back.
You can't go wrong, and especially if you have Tables in Wonderland to know you get the 20% off. I mean, it's
we're finally utilizing it.
Yeah,
again.
I hadn't used it in many months, so it was very nice.
And it's just nice to be able to. We're going into good months for dining out. Like we did dine out a couple times when it was like, oh my gosh, Caribbean Beach Resort outside,
in the
almost
sun.
100
Yeah.
degrees. So for us, we're really fortunate. We have moderate weather coming.
Now, we've noticed some changes, especially to this area. This used to be where you would check in, and you could see they have this, maybe it's a temporary wall, but it matches what you'll find in the tower building.
Right. So this is what you'll find at the Grand Estino, that pattern in the lobby.
Still has the little hidden Mickey in the lights, I see.
This used to be the main lobby. You used to have the concierge on the left-hand side and the check-in on the right-hand side. They were still using it for groups. Obviously, that is not the case right now. Disney's Coronado Springs has a very large convention center, really one of the largest as far as a hotel convention center, I think still in the southeast. Not probably in use at all right now.
We took a small walk through there, and there was nothing going on.
And the Grand Estino Tower, that opened last July and is just a stunning building. It's just beautiful, and the only reason that I would not stay here right this second is just because so much is still closed at the resort, and hopefully that will change in the upcoming weeks. But
here's that matching backdrop there.
I just remember walking into the tower for the first time. I think it was the day before it officially opened, and it is gorgeous. And for Christmas last year, it was beautiful as well.
Now, I shot this clip at about 6:30 actually on a Tuesday evening, and you could see not a soul to be seen. It was so empty. It was oddly quiet in there.
And I just love all the lighting fixtures. Of course, Destino, it's for the Dolly and Destino, Walt and Salvador Dali. There's a book called Destino, and so we are back at the main what used to be the main building.
And you can see they still have the opening merchandise. At least that's what I called it, because all of this stuff debuted when the resort fully opened together.
Well, the Grand Estino Tower is now the building you check in at, and this is not the main area anymore, but in some ways it still feels like it, but not right this moment, because again, I mentioned a lot is closed, and that includes Cafe Rick's, which we are passing. And I'm just going to say this, this walkway is always so lovely for Christmas. I hope it will be this year. The El Mercado is closed. Laguna Bar is closed. Maya Grill is closed. Toledo is closed over at Grand Estino. There's a lot that's closed. I think the pool bar with food may be open. But right this second, when we were there,
Yeah, Rick's Sports Bar is pretty much it.
and also Three Bridges,
Of
bar
course,
and grill.
Three Bridges, right.
So if you were just looking to go to the parks and have a nice meal at Three Bridges, I guess that's fine. There's just a lot that is closed, and I think it's important to note that. And again, I'm hoping that will change soon.
And maybe because there weren't a lot of guests staying there yet. I mean, the parking lot was virtually empty, really, and we didn't see many people. So maybe just because it was just ramping up, it was one of the first days since the NBA had moved out.
Well, a lot of the restaurants are owned by the same company that owns restaurants at the Mexico Pavilion.
Okay.
So they're not Disney-owned restaurants, a lot of these. Now, Toledo should be, but the ones here are not, including the outdoor Laguna Bar.
Now, the Dahlia Bar, I believe, is open.
Yes, there are a couple. There's a couple places open in Grand Estino. It's just that a lot is. Oh, here you go. This is what's available. Rick's Siesta's Cantina. That would be, I think, out there by the pool. Barcelona Lounge, Three Bridges Bar and Grill, Dahlia Lounge, and really that's about it for food right now. Again, I'm hoping that will change soon.
But we had a great time, and we
It was
would
wonderful.
love to go back. It was wonderful. Three Bridges, I've never not had a fantastic experience.
The food is really top notch for the price.
So after a big dinner, we went and sat out on the beach area. It was very quiet, relaxing, and watched the sun continue to go down.
And what I really, because Disney's Polynesian Village Resort, as many other resorts, is officially still closed, that means like the villas are, I think they make up a little less than half of the resort. So it should never seem too busy until next summer.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're planning to stay and you're looking for a getaway where it's not too busy, I can't imagine it would ever be too busy again, because less than half the resort automatically is not available to guests.
Yeah, on our very last day, our checkout day, I had the entire pool to myself for a short time.
Well, it was like 8 in the morning.
Oh, still, my own
and
jacuzzi.
Then it got a little busier.
A little, but not horrible. Certainly not bad. Oh, okay, now we're going to jump completely ahead and talk about Give Kids the World.
And we're going to talk more about the Polynesian resort stay next week.
Yes, this was just the first day and a half.
So Night of a Million Lights we talked about last week, and I just am looking so much forward to this. I just volunteered Saturday to help string lights. I have never, ever strung lights ever outside in my life.
And if one goes out, they all go out. So
is that true?
No.
I don't know.
If that was the case, we'd be in big trouble.
This is the Legoland. We wanted to show you just one of the 45 houses that will be decorated. And Legoland is sponsoring this villa, and I think they're about done now. We showed Crayola last week, which has been done.
Yeah, this was new to us. They had invited us back to see the progress 1 week later, and it's really coming along. But there's so much more. It'll be absolutely amazing when this is finished.
I think there's still almost 2 million more lights to go up, and plus a lot of many villas still to decorate in the next couple weeks. But it just is so gorgeous, and to go there and to hear the Christmas music, and it's just stunning, and it just keeps getting more and more.
Well, look at the main village area. It really has filled in. I mean, when we were here a week prior to this, this house here with all the green, there was not those lights on there.
Right. I mean, there's a lot more lights than there were. I will say, for as many hours as I put in, which was only like 4.5, it is you don't really get very far. Like, you have to have so many volunteers doing little sections to make this happen. And it just is looking stunning. I hope my section looks okay.
Speaking of your section, we're going to take a quick look. This is some video you shot during the day that you volunteered on Saturday.
Right, and I didn't do this section, but the area, I hope my area looks okay. So
I'm sure it'll be fantastic.
I walked. We were allowed to walk around a little bit during lunch, and over here at this is what the Legoland house looks like during the day, and I just found it really interesting to see the daytime version. Now, the event will run starting on November 13th, and I just really recommend it if you are going to be in town. It runs through January 3rd. It's not just a night of a million lights, it's 53 nights
Of 3
with
million
3
lights.
million lights because Disney donated several million lights. And so it might be like 3.5 million. I'm not sure
So
exactly.
you're getting some Disney in there because they're Disney lights.
Yes, they're Disney lights, or a lot of them are. And I thought it was very nice that they donated them. But tickets are from $25 and up for adults, and then less for kids, depending on the date. And you get hot chocolate, and you get ice cream, and you get, this gorgeous holiday night. And I can't wait to see the finished product.
That's the one of the few great things about this year is at least we'll have a little bit of Osborne lights over at the Give Kids the World Village. The sad thing is, of course, that the village isn't open for the kids for what they would regularly be doing. But and I'm hoping next year that is back to normal. So this may be the only time you'll ever get this chance.
I consider this a one-time event. It may not be, but I'm hoping. I actually
Everybody's
hope it will
hoping
be.
it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's another show.
That is another show. Thanks to our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel.
Check them out if you're planning to travel, whether now or especially in 2021. I know we probably won't be traveling till spring or so. But a lot more will be open at Walt Disney World, I think, at that time.
Right. And, of course, the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World on October 1st, 2021.
Yeah, and I don't know what will be open, for it, what will be new, but we're still going to celebrate
I would
50.
bet there'll be a rat involved.
Well, I think that will open. Hopefully by spring we'll see the Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, but we'll see.
And next week, so far, we'll be talking more about our Polynesian getaway.
There's a lot more to talk about, and also whatever we're doing this week.
We have a park pass for Halloween at the Magic Kingdom, and we will see what happens with that. If it's not too crazy, we'll probably head off in the late afternoon because I believe the park's open until 9 o'clock. It'll be nice to see it fully lit up.
And I'm going to do some stuff on Wednesday. I don't know what yet. I have blood work at 7:30, and I think I'm going to head to the Polynesian Resort and get a little bit of footage of the toll plaza, and I don't know.
What excitement.
Yes. And
Blood, toll plaza, Polynesian with no A-frame on it. What a day.
Maybe
bring me back a cupcake. That's entertainment.
Maybe I'll bring something back. And then Disney Springs. I'm probably going to go to Disney Springs because we didn't show that Christmas merchandise is now coming out.
I figured I'd wait till next week because by then, tomorrow I know where we're going for lunch. There is already Christmas merchandise there, so maybe there'll be some new items.
Well, we'll talk about it next week, but Disney's Polynesian Resort, we were there, and I was on my walk, and the store boutique had not opened yet, and I saw Christmas merchandise, and I was so excited. But we were heading to the Magic Kingdom.
This was like 8 a.m. or something.
Right, and the store was not open. We were heading to the Magic Kingdom, and so we knew a few hours later we would come back and we could see the merchandise. Fortunately, we took some photos and video through it because a bunch of the stuff, I think some resellers came in and
they wiped it all out.
Not everything.
Luckily, one of the things you really wanted,
yes.
the little guy there. What is he called? The gingerbread plush.
It's a gingerbread Mickey, sort of like very much like you would find at Disneyland Paris. And so they stocked a handful more
scented
out.
Even
scented
it smells
like
so
gingerbread. And I really love the merchandise this year because we're not at Disneyland Paris this year, and the gingerbread Mickey and Minnie were in the parade. Probably, I don't know if they'll be in the new parade whenever that happens, in the coming year or two.
Yeah.
But it's all over their merchandise too, so I'm really excited that so much of our merchandise here also has that.
So thanks again for listening. Have a great week. We'll see you all next week, and please be safe, everybody.
Have a great week.